Welcome back to Blockchain Pill. My name is Alex, and today I talk to Bruno Calabretta, the leader of the Indonesian ICP Hub, also known as Disruptives. We covered how the Internet Computer Protocol will revolutionize the world and how there is no other crypto that even gets close to what the Internet Computer Protocol does. So without further ado, let's jump straight into the call. First of all, welcome to the podcast. Thank you for taking your time and coming here. It's been a while. So I've been trying to get you on the podcast for the past almost 1 month now. So welcome.
Thank you so much, and I apologize if it took so long.
It's good that we managed to do it still in 2023. For the people who don't know who you are the leader of the Indonesian hub, also known as Disruptives. And the first time I saw you was a few weeks ago, or close to a month ago, when you guys started the initiative called Indonesia on Chain. So for the people that don't know who you are, introduce yourself and tell us more about Indonesia on Chain.
Okay, so Alex, thank you so much. So my name is Bruno Calabretta. As you can guess from my accent, I'm not Indonesian. I'm Italian, but I live in Indonesia already for almost 2 years. I like to define myself as a Web3 entrepreneur. I have a background in biomedical engineering. And just to give you a little bit of context of how I found myself here in Indonesia, let's say that 2 years ago, I decided that I was not happy anymore with my corporate job. I used to work as a technical manager in the US, handling the American branch for the company with who I used to work with. Certain amount of people below me that we were handling like all the customer in the North American region, but I was not happy anymore with my previous job, with my corporate job. It wasn't making me happy, and for me it's very important that I need to be passionate and enthusiastic about what I'm doing. So I've been involved in the blockchain space already since 2018, and it was always a big side passion of mine. So, by living in the US, I was very much pushed by the American dream that is pushing you to bet everything on yourself. So I did it. I quit everything that I was doing. I moved to Bali, Indonesia, and I started to get more involved with projects, startup that were involved in the blockchain space, in the crypto space. And I started, to build a community. I started to grow in the local area. I started to organize the Bali Crypto Week of last year. This year we organized the Bali Blockchain Week. We rebranded a little bit ourselves. And from here, I started to work 6 months ago with ICP. I was actually a little bit involved with them also before with another project that is Feder Italy 100% Made in Italy. That is the first certificate on blockchain for products that are 100% made in Italy and their origin is proved and stored on the ICP blockchain. So after this amazing experience where we presented our project to the Italian Senate, European Parliament, European Commission, we had so much coverage and so much enthusiasm for this amazing product that had actually a unique goal, the one to bring back trust to the consumer, because today consumer don't know what they're buying, so they're willing to spend on money for a product of quality, but who is guaranteeing it? Blockchain. Don't trust, verify. And from there I started to work for ICP, becoming the ICP hub leader for Indonesia, for the ICP hub that is called Disruptives. And 1 month ago, yes, we launched Indonesia on Chain. So Indonesia on Chain is an amazing program. I'm really proud and happy to be part of this amazing event or program, we can call it. So we are completely in line with the national program of Indonesia that is called Indonesia Vision 2045, that has the goal to bring all Indonesia on chain. So what is happening with Indonesia on chain is that we created a partnership with 96 educational institutions, 75 high school that are going to target only senior high school, so the students that are 1 year before to start university, and with 21 university in the Jakarta area. So what is happening with Indonesia on Chain is that not only we created this partnership for educating young generation about the possibilities that are connected by being involved in the blockchain and in the Web3 space, but we are also going to teach them about entrepreneurship, Web3, blockchain, with of course a special focus on the Internet Computer Protocol. We are going to create this ICP Academy where we are teaching them all of this, and we are creating for them certificates, we are creating for them courses in Indonesian languages. with different goals. The first one, to make them become qualified developers. The next step, it will be to bring them into Ideaton and Hackathon, so in this way they can become certified developers. Then we are going to create like an inter-challenge between all these educational institutions. So in this way, all these young minds can be involved in a different way. They can compete with each other and see who is the best in the blockchain and Web3 space. And the goal of this, what is that if you think the future is now, but the future is not for us. The future is for the young generation. So we need to leverage their eagerness to become the best, to be part of the future. And this is the goal of these initiatives, to not only leverage the young population of Indonesia. Just for you to know, 25% of the population is below 15 years of age, 65% of the population is in working age, and this is the fourth most populated country in the world. And this is like amazing to be part of this. So, because of this, we have such an amazing journey ahead of us. And another main goal of this initiative is to put Indonesia as the number one tech hub in the world.
It's such a powerful mission that you have, and it makes me wonder, like, how does it happen that the most technological advanced countries like the US and, Australia, like Canada, like, why
Europe.
they exactly, no, but they are fighting against Bitcoin and against the blockchain, and like with all the sanctions and everything, and we see countries like El Salvador and you guys, Indonesia, where you embrace those new systems and basically the future, whereas they are trying to fight it and oppose it. And I find it mind boggling that this is happening. So, what do you think is the reason why, for example, you guys, Indonesia, why are you embracing blockchain and change for that matter?
Because we are talking of emerging countries that in the last 70 years, 100 years, we can say, have been oppressed, if we can use this word, by the strong countries that are, let's call them the first world country of the world. So this means that the possibilities for these countries have been very limited along the years. And right now, instead, what is happening is that these countries are embracing a new path. So they are taking the lead in being independent. And what is the best way that you can be independent? By following how the technological advancement is improving, is growing. And again, blockchain is here to stay. You cannot stop technological advancement. And I say this as a little bit of a nerd. As I told you, my background is engineering. So for me, what is important is not the speculation, is the technical stuff, is what is really making this technology powerful. Is the fact that blockchain, with all its properties like immutability, tamper-proof, public, these qualities is what are going to put a country at the next level, is what is going to give the confidence to a country to evolve, to be more, devoted to their citizen. And the best way that you can do it is embrace innovation. What other countries like US, Europe are doing is staying behind. If you think like what is happening in the US has always been like the synonym of excellence, the synonym of innovation. When you think of innovation, the first word that pops in everybody's mind it's the Silicon Valley. But right now, what are the new innovations that have you seen come out from the Silicon Valley? Not so much. We are still talking of the same big names that made their name in the 80s and in the 90s or 2000. But that's it. It's 20 years that we don't see real innovations that are changing the world. It's still the same people, the same goal, huge tech companies that are controlling the world, and they are doing what they're doing, whatever they want. So right now there is a change, and the change is brought by blockchain. And I love ICP not only because I work for ICP, but because of the drastic change that is also bringing into the blockchain space. Because we know that the blockchain space, there is a major player that they affirm that they are fully decentralized, but in reality, we know that they are not fully decentralized, that they're still relying on the clouding system. I remember I was involved in ICP since the launch in 2021. So I was still in the US when ICP launched. And I remember that I immediately invested on them after reading what was their technology. I was like, wow, I want to be part of it. And I never sold my ICP. I still have the ICP that I bought in 2021. Just for you to know, I never exit from that position.
Hopefully you DCA'd as well, because we've seen like
Yeah,
great prices
of,
like over like
of course,
after 1 year. It is
of
incredible.
course.
The price of ICP. Like if you were to ask anybody like in 2020 or 2021, I think nobody in the wildest dreams could have guessed that you'll be able to buy Internet Computer Protocol at under $3 in 2022, which is crazy.
I hope that all the listener bought a lot of bags of it.
That's good. And I think that everybody who's still like active in the ICP community will be very happy and like begin in 2024, 2025. I'm not even talking about like 2030, you know? And there is people that invest in all those kind of projects, you know, that have hype behind them. But we have to think about, so there is a YouTuber called Jerry Banfield, and like he has a great point. Like you need to focus on which one of those projects will still be around 10 years from now or 15 years from now. And I think we will see like most of the projects that are right now on the market, like they will not exist anymore. They will not exist
Yes.
anymore. Like we'll probably like see Bitcoin, Ethereum, ICP, and maybe a few more, like a handful more we will recognize like from those times. I want us to get into what exactly Web3 is and why does it matter for the people who are new to this word and don't know exactly what it is. So what is Web3?
If we want to give a little bit of like history of Web 1, Web 2,
I
Web
would love
3,
it.
so that in this way people will understand why we use this number, let's say that when all the internet started, it was called Web 1, and basically there were two main functionality that was read and write. So this means that what you could do, you could upload information on a website, then you can read them, and you could decide what you want to do with it. Then in the Web 2, basically there has been no technological improvement. It was still the same functionality of read and write, but what is happening is that we had a kind of advancement of the social network era. So what happened is that we became creator, but we also became a commodity. Because remember that every time that you don't pay for something is because you are the product. If you think every time that you log in into Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, whatever it is, and you don't pay for uploading content, you're not paying for preserving your data or whatever, is because your data are being sold to somebody else. Web3 is an advancement. It meaning that not only now we are going to have read and write, but now there is, let's say, 1/2 term that is earn and own. So now you own your data and you can decide what to do. So you can decide also if you want to earn with your data. This decision is totally up to you. Now, ICP, we like to define ourselves as Web 3.0, so the real Web 3.0, because the gap between the Web 2 and the Web 3 is that we are not going to use any more centralized clouding systems that are storing data on server, but what is going to happen is that the data are finally being stored on blockchain. So right now we are in a situation where most of the blockchain are Web 2.5, let's put it like this, where some of the data are on chain and most of their data are instead still on clouding system. So ICP is instead the real Web 3.0 because we don't rely on any kind of clouding system. Everything is fully on chain. Everything is fully decentralized. And this thanks, of course, to our nodes infrastructure, all the architecture of how the blockchain works. And this is giving us a lot of advantages in terms that some of the problem that other blockchain might have is the fact that maybe they are slow or they are too expensive. Bitcoin is always going to be the leader, but we know that it's very slow and the transaction fee are very expensive. Then you can have Ethereum, where you know that the transaction fee can go up to, you never know, like it depends also what do you use. It can go from $5 to $25, $30. Like if you go on KuCoin and you try to make an exchange with Ethereum, there is already a base fee of $25 for transferring zero.
It is crazy. So you will never get global adoption with fees as high as like 20, 25, $30 per transaction. Like you cannot ask a regular person, hey, you want to make a transaction? Cool, come here. It's, you know, on chain, whatever. And it's not even on chain. It's going to cost you $25. I'm sorry. So
Exactly.
it's
While
not going
instead
to
on
be possible.
ICP,
Yeah.
On ICP is
Yeah.
0.0001.
On top of the fact that it is cheap, it doesn't cost anything to the end user because we have the reverse gas fee model where the company,
I
the project
know.
is responsible to provide and to pay for the fees for the people using the either the platform or the network, which is great. And I think
This is
you
one of the
really
most amazing things.
it is going to be like a seamless transition from Web 2 to Web 3. And you hit the nail in the head with when you said that, other blockchains that claim to be Web 3, they're not Web 3 because the only thing that they have on chain is the token.
Is that
But the website
Bravo?
is hosted
That's it.
on Amazon Web Services. Everything that you interact with is on Amazon Web
NFT,
Services.
images, anything you have is on AWS, Google Cloud, or Microsoft. This is
Yes,
where you host your information. You don't have nothing on
exactly.
chain. And
Yeah,
this is like honestly ridiculous for an environment that want to be fully decentralized. At the end, if you think why Ethereum is so strong, because it was the first one right after Bitcoin. So of course, a lot of people are still using it because they have everything there. Let's not forget that ICP, it is 2 years old. Guys, it was launched in 2021. We are at our infancy and we are so strong as a technology. Like, if you go and check even the last report from Electric Capital from last year, the newest one, I think, is going to come in 1 month, something like this. But already you can see that compared to the age of other blockchain, the number of developers, the number of people that are interested, the sentiment of the community, it's growing for this ecosystem. But why? Because of all the advantages. We are green, we are fully on chain. We are fully decentralized. We are governed by a DAO. We have a reverse gas fee model. We can host website on chain. This is the advantages that we want to see when we talk about the future,
for sure.
or at
And
least this is what I love to see.
And you had a good point. You mentioned earlier that Ethereum is so big now because not only was it like the second after Bitcoin, but it was we had Bitcoin, which came with the first big innovation, which was the blockchain technology, where you were able to securely make transactions between like peer to peer without having an intermediary. That was huge. And then Ethereum was the second big innovation where they enabled like the creation of smart contracts. So all of a sudden you can now have DeFi and whatever else people are doing with smart contracts. And why I think ICP is going to be huge is that it is the first one to come with the third big innovation, which not only can you now have smart contracts, but you can have stuff on chain for reasonable price. And there is a ton of advantages to that. Like somebody more technical than me should come and say those like the benefits, but there are plenty of them. We hear Dominic Williams say all the time, you no longer need a firewall, you no longer are able to be like hacked by anyone. So there is a lot of security.
Exactly. And another thing, if you think, is the fact that has been proven that right now, if you use blockchain, ICP blockchain, and you substitute it with all your IT infrastructure that as an enterprise, a business, or whatever you're using, basically you're going to save 75% of your actual expenses. Because if you think to maintain an IT system, you gotta pay for the storage, you gotta pay for the maintenance, you gotta pay for the upgrade, you gotta pay for teaching the people how it works, you gotta pay for anything that might happen in that year price that you are paying. On blockchain, everything is there, everything is secure. You do the job one time and then you keep repeating. And this is the advantage, the fact that also ICP is providing such a cheap price also in terms of storage. It's amazing how much it is, $5 per year.
$5
This
per
is
gigabyte per
per
year. And
gigabyte per year.
yeah, and compared to Ethereum, like if you wanted to store the
One
same
one
one
million, one
gigabyte,
million and a
no,
half,
it's
trillion.
tens of millions of dollars. So
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah, yeah,
60
yeah.
or
Yeah,
70.
because sorry, yeah, now the price went up. So I was
It went,
thinking
yeah.
when the price was at the bottom
Yeah.
during the bear market was around 1 million and a half. So now,
I
yeah,
s-
it's going
so
much more up.
so I may be wrong, but I will look at it. So I think right now Solana is like a couple of millions, but Ethereum, I may be wrong, but I will look into it. But I think it is like tens of millions of dollars, basically unusable. Like you cannot host anything on chain. So this gets me like to the next question: how do you think the Internet Computer Protocol will impact the world in the future?
Oh, basically with how they call it. They call it alien technology.
Hmm.
The way that ICP works is basically, when you have something that is disruptive as ICP technology, you don't need to do anything. It's like, when the internet was started, everybody was screaming that the internet was a scam, that people don't needed it. When the first program on the computer came out, people were like, I don't need it. I have my agenda. I'm going to write it there. I don't need an email. I'm going to send
A letter.
a mail, exactly. Look today. Today, without internet, we are lost. And evolution will keep growing, will keep changing. But ICP right now is showcasing that we are really able to do things, but things in a new way, in an innovative way. So we already listed all the advantages and all the unique features of the IC technology. It's not a matter of, hey, this is going to happen. This is already happening. And we are seeing it, that the knowledge, the sentiment is there. Sometimes, what is the problem? Is that, or at least this was a problem, because this problem has been fixed by the ICP hubs, is that most of the time people didn't know exactly how ICP worked. They heard some things here and there. They heard some speculation. They heard some fake news, and they thought they knew about it because, unfortunately, the human person is lazy by nature, so people don't go and do their own research. They don't dig down and understand what is really happening. But in the moment you start to present how ICP works to the people and what are the advantages, the unique features, why you need to have it, then you realize that people are like, oh wow, maybe I should dig into this a little bit more. Let me understand how it works. I remember the other day I made a post on Twitter and I wrote about the transaction cost for per transaction of 0.0001 fixed, and somebody wrote me, it's not possible. How is it possible that you do it like this? I just took a screenshot from the wallet where there is the fixed cost is written down when you want to send from one wallet to another the price. His reply was like, wow, I didn't know about this. I'm going to start to learn more about this. I want to learn about ICP, how it works, what are all the advantages. Please, can you share me information on this, and that? Pleasure. And people, when they discover how ICP works, then they are like, wow, I gotta get into this technology. I gotta get into what they're doing because they're really amazing. So I think that it's just a matter of time now because adoption is there. We are seeing more expansion. We are seeing more application moving into our ecosystem. We are seeing more founders and entrepreneurs wanting to build on the IC ecosystem. Look, just to give you an example, I recently just finished to run the first incubator program on the Internet Computer Protocol. It has been a program that lasted 7 weeks, and we had in 1 month of soft promotion more than 100 plus application. Out of this 100 plus application, we handpicked 15 projects to participate into our incubator program. Out of these 15, we had 12 projects that actually delivered an MVP built on the IC ecosystem. And these were all projects that had no idea of how ICP worked. And they managed to deliver an MVP. Some of them, I truly believe, that are even going to disrupt the IC ecosystem for the solutions that they are going to bring. But this is just to show how people are enthusiastic about the IC ecosystem once they discover how it works. There were some of the teams that some days they were coming were like, wow, Bruno, I discovered to do this last night. I was developing this, I was developing that. It's amazing the things that you can do on ICP. You're like, I know, man. I love this technology too. So it's amazing what is going to happen. We just have to wait and see.
I agree 100% because I also have a web developer friend who found out recently about the Internet Computer Protocol, and who, by the way, like I sent to this edition of Motoko Bootcamp, like he's now learning Motoko.
Nice.
Man, he is astonished about, like, I don't understand like what he's astonished about because I'm not very technical, but he says, dude, this is going to be the future. Like, this is exactly his words. So why do you think projects should stop wasting time with different blockchains and come and build on the Internet Computer Protocol? What are the main benefits for somebody to build his project on the ICP?
Cheap, fast, fully decentralized, 100% on chain, green, sustainable. More reason than this.
Do you think like Motoko, like the coding language, is like a barrier to entry, or as a developer you can understand it relatively easy?
So, look, this depends on your background. One thing that we've been noticing is that if you are a new developer in the Web3 space, learning Motoko is super simple. Sometimes, if you're already coming from other technologies, so you already learned how certain other logic works, it might take a little bit of time for you to understand a new logic like the one of Motoko. But at the end, the result is that even people that are coming from Solidity, they get into it very easy. But then another thing is that on ICP, basically, you can code in four main languages. It's Rust, it's TypeScript, it's Motoko, and it's Python. And I think also in C, you can do something. So honestly, possibilities are there, and I don't see it as a barrier. Actually, I see it as an incentive to learn something new that is actually working in a better way than all the other, because it's been proven that Motoko is at a completely different level in terms of advancement, performances, and the capability of what you can do with it.
I was talking to Sebastian, the education lead at Code and
Oh,
State and
yes.
the founder of Motoko Bootcamp. And like he told me it takes you 7 days to be able to deploy your own functioning DAO on the Internet Computer Protocol. And there will be hiring opportunities with salaries that blew my mind. I said, you know what? I'm going to quit podcasting. I'll learn Motoko and I'll become a developer, because there is not enough developers. And if you are good and
Exactly.
you don't just go there to do like the minimum, like in everything you're doing in life. If you really, put yourself to do it, like, and you're good, like there is huge opportunities in Web3. And I'm curious to hear your opinion. How do you think that, the day-to-day regular person can find benefits by joining the Web3 space? So how do you think this will happen?
Look, it mostly depends on what is that a regular person is doing. So the main advantage is, first of all, your privacy start to be preserved. Even if you are not, a tech guru, but you're someone that love to spend time, I don't know, on social network or interacting with other people, having the possibility of interacting with people that are coming, that are part of a decentralized environment, it's something completely new. Then, of course, the advantages I think are not only for the average people, but especially also for enterprises. Try to imagine to have an enterprise that is finally switching the way that they work into a decentralized and completely on-chain environment that is giving them a lot of advantages from the money spending point of view, but also in the advantages that they are going to showcase for their customers to show that they are innovative, that they are following what is happening in the world, that they are not staying behind. At the end, like it is the same thing, when we talk about AI, everybody say, oh, don't use it. You gotta learn instead how to use it, because this is gonna be part of the future. It's like when PowerPoint, Words, Excel came out and people didn't want to learn it. And those that learned how to use this program, they advanced in their career. The same thing is with blockchain. You need to learn how it works, because this is going to be part of the future. You want to know what it is when we arrive in the future. Of course, the process must be seamless. So we want to arrive to a point that you are using blockchain without even knowing that you're using blockchain, and you can rely on it. It's like, you go to take a plane, but you don't go and knock on the to the pilot and say, "Hey, please, can you show me the engine of the plane? Let me know that everything is okay so I can fly." No, you start, you board, you do your check-in, you sit, you sleep, you land, you go take your luggages and continue your trip. The same thing has to happen with blockchain. So I think that the advantages are enormous. Another big advantage is the fact that we want to see blockchain more and more similar to the Web2 experience. Right now, the only blockchain that is able to give this kind of experience is ICP, because of the reverse gas fee model, as we were mentioning before. Because this is an example that I like to make sometimes to explain how the reverse gas fee model works. So imagine that you are in front of your television and you have a remote and you want to do zapping, you want to change channel. So what is happening on another blockchain is that even if you have your battery inside your remote, every time that you want to change channel, you need to pay some fee. On ICP, the battery are already there. They're provided by the creator of the app. And every time that you want to change channel, you can do it without no one coming and tell you, hey, you gotta pay for it.
$20,
No.
$20 every channel you want to change. It is crazy. Listen, it is insane what's happening with the fees. We need a reverse gas fee model to make the transition from Web2 to Web3 like seamless. Like people don't even need to know. And similarly to the example that you gave with the airplane, like the same thing with an email, right? I just need to know that I send you the email and you receive it. I don't care. And I'm sure like the process behind it is very complex. I don't care. I don't care, and I honestly, you shouldn't even care like how it works. Like if you use it, and that's all that matters. So let's go back to, you are the leader of the Disruptives Hub in Indonesia. So first of all, what is the role of an ICP hub?
Let's take a step back. So, one thing that we realized in the ICP ecosystem is that basically it's a mistake to have a unique strategy that is decided somewhere in the world and apply it everywhere else. Why? Because the condition of the place where that strategy was decided are never going to be the same in all the other region where you are trying to apply. So every country in the world has its own weakness and strength. Some they have a lot of developer, some they have a lot of enthusiasts, some they have a lot of entrepreneurs, some they don't know anything and they need this gap to be filled. So what we understood is that the ICP hubs they play a very important role. Is a role to understand what are the weaknesses and strengths of each one of these regions and face them with their personal and professional skill. So the role of an ICP hub manager or ICP hub leader, there are different ways for calling our position, but at the end, the reality is that we are here representing Internet Computer Protocol, and we're here to make sure that we can allow the expansion and adoption of the ecosystem in the region. So our role, what is we have this word that we love very much inside the inside the ICP Hub program, that is funnel. So we have to follow a funnel to make sure that our strategy is going to work. And this funnel goes with evangelism. So start to organize events, start to spread the news, start to participate in other people events and talk about what we do. Then moving down the funnel, we are going to start with education. So we organize ideathon, hackathon, we provide bootcamp courses and knowledge about AIC. Then we move down the funnel and we go into incubation. So we incubate project, we help them in growing, in developing MVP, in creating something unique that is missing in the IC ecosystem and is going to make a difference. And then from there, we go into the acceleration phase where we make sure that this project will really become the next unicorn of the Web3 space. And like this, you can see that each hub manager around the world is using their skill to make sure to accomplish this way of working. And we can see amazing results. Look what is happening in Africa. We have our ICP Africa that are national TV, organizing hackathon, organizing ideathon, providing courses, providing knowledge, helping young generation to be interested in something different than staying in front of the phone and just do scrolling without no sense. You can see that in Europe, the same thing is happening. Look in South America. Our LATAM hub has created so many important partnership in Central and South America with bank, with important ecosystem, with big player. Our ICP hub North America is everywhere, and North America is huge. They're in some of the biggest universities. They're organizing talk show. They're organizing hackathon. Look what is happening in Dubai, what is happening in Hong Kong, what is happening in Thailand, Malaysia, or Korea. We are everywhere. And like right now, what we are doing is making sure that people knows what is ICP and making sure that people get on board of this ecosystem. They get on board by building, by creating, by participating, by being involved and saying their words, proposing something new. Because the cool thing of the Web3 space, I think, is that we replace the word I with the word we. So now it's a collective, it's a community. And I think that we as ICP hubs, we can be proud of what we did in such a short time. If you think right now, the word ICP is on the mouths of everyone. Sometimes I'm not joking. I'm going to event with this t-shirt. This is like I call it my uniform. And when I go to events, man, it's amazing. People are like, "Oh, you are from ICP, man. I want to talk with you. Please, can I tell you about my project? I want to." And I swear, I'm not joking. Sometimes, I have people like staying in queue for me to finish to speak with one person so that they can have the chance to speak with me because people now know about what we are doing and they want to be involved. And man, it's amazing. I love it. I love that people are so, happy, enthusiastic, and they want to discover more about our ecosystem. At the end, ICP is an alternative technology that is going to revolutionize the way that we live, work, and play.
With the ministers that are supporting Indonesia on chain, like what was the process of getting them on board? Like you had to reach out to them, or what was the exact process?
So I'm very lucky because I have very strong partner and people that are part of the ICP Hub ecosystem here in Indonesia. One of these is Grace Bandar and Dr. Agus Kenny, and they are both basically the two persons that helped me a lot in making this Indonesia on-chain dream become a reality. Thanks to their connection with big groups like Jababeka, President University, and the CEO and Ambassador Club, the World Metaverse Council, and other kind of big corporation that they are involved with. They really helped me a lot in making this connection because they have like a personal and professional connection with this member from the government, and this helped us a lot in making this connection and gaining their support. This country is very advanced. They really think about the future. They really have at their heart the future of their population, the future of young generation, and they want to make sure that Indonesia is going to be on top of the list. So because of this, every time that there is the possibility of creating something new, the possibility of being involved in something that is part of the future, is part of technological advancement, they welcome us with open arms. No joking. Welcome us with open arms.
What is the process of opening an ICP hub? So for the people watching our podcast now, they'll be like, you know what, I want to be more involved in this. How do you create an ICP hub?
Basically, I think that the process at the moment of creating new ICP hub, it's almost over. I think that we have just few hubs that are going to be added next year, but we are already at more than 20 hubs that are covering the whole world. So because of this, we are not going to open more hubs in the future, but we of course are expanding in term. An ICP hub is not a place that, oh, we are in this building from this time to this time. No, an ICP hub is a movement. It's something like that is much more bigger. If you are a blockchain enthusiast, if you want to learn more about blockchain, go on our website, internetcomputer.org/community, and you will have the possibility of checking all what is the closest apps close to you. So go on our website, check on Telegram group, Twitter, whatever it is that you can reach out to us and come and join our event. Come and join us in our next initiatives. We are welcoming with open arms everybody that wants to come and work with us, come and do things with us. So this is an open movement, and we are looking for more people to join us and to help us to make our ecosystem thrive and become like what is supposed to be a great star in the blockchain ecosystem.
So basically, there is not going to be like new hubs. We don't have a hub in Romania, right? So we're never going to have a hub in Romania?
I don't know. Maybe there will be in the future. I really don't know about this, but this is something that is being discussed of opening hubs in different region. So I think that the best way it will be also, to reach out directly, like in our community forum. I'm sure that there is a lot of requests for having a hub in Romania. Probably we are going to open a hub in Romania.
I would love for that to happen, and to know that there is a place in Romania that everybody who's interested in the Internet Computer Protocol, like they can come there and connect and network with one another. I think that's powerful.
Look, very soon we are also going to start with the ambassador program. This is something that is almost ready, so I can tell more in the moment it's going to be officially launched. But this will be another amazing way for being part of our ecosystem and to contribute to our growth. We are looking constantly for people to help us, support us, and make sure that really IC ecosystem can thrive.
You need to send me one of those shirts, by the way.
Look, actually, we finished to print this one. This is an old design that we got thanks to Emilio Canessa, the head of global adoption. And but we are gonna print them soon again because people love this one, especially this design. It's so cool.
I like it. I also have a couple of shirts, like from I've been to a meetup in London, and I have one of the shirts. It reads Motoko on it,
Oh,
and
nice.
it's
That one is
beautiful.
cool too.
That's my favorite one. That's my favorite one. How can somebody, who wants to get involved in Web3, what is the first steps that they can do?
So if you are at zero, please start to do your own research. Don't listen to other people. Don't listen to conversation that you're having with people in the middle of the streets that have no idea what they're talking about. Join a community. Discover if there is any kind of crypto event, blockchain event around you. Go and join. Don't be scared to ask for help. Amazing thing, as I said, the word I has been converted in the word we. Every time you need help, ask for help. You will be surprised of how much people are looking forward to help you. I suggest you to read an amazing book that for me made a big difference when I started in the blockchain space in 2018. That is The Bitcoin Standard of Saifeddin Amos. Amazing book. I really highly suggested also for people to understand all the evolution in history, how we arrive to blockchain, why we need blockchain, even if the title is the Bitcoin standard. I think that only the last two chapters are about Bitcoin. So it's all really written very nice, and you really are going to understand why we need blockchain in our world. So do your own research. There is a lot of free content around. So listen to them, listen to podcasts, but especially join community. Look for other people that are doing this, and they can really provide help and support in your discovering of this ecosystem.
And one thing to keep in mind, as you mentioned earlier in this podcast, whether you like it or not, this is the
Oh,
future. So you can
yes.
say, I don't care about it. I don't have time to look into. Okay, do your thing. You don't have to care about it. But this will be the future. And then 10 years down the
Yes.
line, you will think back and say, man, I wish I got into, Web3 and blockchain like 10 years ago. There's two more questions and I'll let you go to your next meetings. So the first one is, what is your ICP price prediction for 2025? You can be conservative, you can go crazy. It's just for fun.
Honestly, I don't know because I always like to say I'm not a financial advisor, so I don't want to get into speculation. But I can tell you one thing that by 2025, you're gonna see more and more amazing project being built on the IC ecosystem. So consequently, the price will change a lot from today, and I'm not gonna go over this.
You don't want to make a prediction and then in 2025 we go back to this video. I'll cut that part and send it to you. Be like, you were right. It's like $300 now.
Okay, I love this part. I would love to see this price, but not a financial advisor,
Of
not a
course.
trader. I don't want to get into this. I don't want to get people telling me, "Oh, why you said this price?"
I sold my house. It's not $300. Yeah, no, I think nobody, when Ethereum was, for example, $10, I don't think anybody would have been able to say, like, with a straight face, Ethereum is going to be $5,000 in 2021. People would have laughed at him, right? Like, nobody believed that. People thought it was gone
Yes.
in 2018 when it went down to what, like $70-$90. So we'll see. I guess we'll see. And I will not force you make a price prediction. But one thing I want from you is I want you to give me a question that I will ask the next guest we have on the podcast.
Is gonna be another guest always about IC, or is gonna be about something else?
It will be related to the Internet Computer Protocol. So it's either going to be like a project, like a gaming project, or a personality like yourself. So it's gonna be somebody related to the Internet Computer Protocol.
How are you going to make sure that the IC ecosystem is really appreciated for what it really gives to people?
That is a great question. And I'm looking forward to see what the answer to that will be.
And I'm looking forward to hear also now this reply.
What I'm doing right now, right? Like, I'm inviting people like you. I'm inviting people who are building projects on the Internet Computer Protocol, and I'm helping spread their message to the wider audience. Like, all of us are playing our part in this ecosystem. And I'm looking forward to, in a couple of years to look back at those videos and be like, man, have we gone have we gone far from where we were? Is there something that we didn't talk about that you wanted to cover in this podcast?
No, I just want to thank you. Thank you so much, Alex. It was amazing. I really loved our conversation. I wish to have more conversation like this. And one last thing, if I can, is please, guys, follow our Disruptives X. So it's Disruptives_Hub. Follow us. We like to keep people updated on what we are doing, what is happening in the ecosystem, and about new possibilities and opportunities that are existing.
Absolutely. And I will leave all the links in the description below. Everybody can find you guys there in the description. Bruno, thank you very much for tuning in. I know you're a busy guy, so I really appreciate you coming here. And on top of that,
Thank you.
whenever you guys are doing like something else, like, and you have updates, you're always welcome to the podcast. I enjoyed our talk as much as I hope you did. And I would love to,
I did.
Yeah, I would love to have, to talk to you in the future again.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. And ciao, ciao, blockchain pill community.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Bye-bye. And with that, we're done. I hope you enjoyed this episode. If you did, don't forget to like the video and share it with a friend. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.